Welcome to the Biz Easy podcast, where small business is simplified for greater results. Brought to you by Resources and Development. Go to www.resources-development.com for help in taking your business to the next level. And now, help me welcome the host of the Biz Easy podcast, Steve McCrillis.
Welcome to the Biz Easy podcast. This is a special episode marking the end of our second season. For 2 years, we have been broadcasting across America, bringing business advice designed to make what you do a little bit easier. Skip and I have done our best to bring you new ideas, more profit, and simplified analysis tools, and that was not easy to say, and hopefully a little humor along the way. We have enjoyed this journey and felt that it was a way to give back to business owners whom we have had the pleasure and privilege of working with our entire careers. It is our fervent wish that the information in these broadcasts has been and will be in the future used to business owners of every industry. As Skip and I take pause from regular broadcasts, we hope that you will continue to reach out with feedback and questions. Also, feel free to look for our book on Amazon. Isn't it time your business becomes Biz Easy? And keep an eye out for future books that we may release. Skip has prepared a little montage to commemorate our season's last episode, in which he shares a few moments in the life of his coaching and consulting career. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my partner and our resident guru of coaching, our lead business coach, Skip Williams. Roll it.
Flink goes my Zippo as I step out onto the porch and I proceed to light my cigar. I stand against the rail and take in the mountain air and God's great glory as I ponder. The question on my mind today is, what shall I write about in today's blog? I ease myself down into a comfortable chair there on the deck, exhale a plume of blue smoke and ask myself, like I ask most mornings, what do business owners want to know or need to know? What do they struggle with? And what didn't they learn in college or from experience, a mentor, or somewhere online? I think back through the decades of my business consulting and the more than a handful of businesses I've owned and been involved with over my lifetime and wonder what I wish I had learned earlier in my career. It dawns on me as I grab my cigar between my first and middle fingers and pull it from my lips that I've indeed lived a life and seen a lot in my business lifetime and learned perseverance and patience. Strike that, I tell myself. You, sir, have never learned patience. Perseverance, maybe. You need that to get through the hard times. But patience, I've never learned. I've learned that you always have to have a plan, and from that plan you rapidly break that plan down into a process. And from processes, you then determine all the steps involved in getting the process started. As I turn the cigar so that the lid end faces me, I blow the ashes off to make sure that the ember at the end still glows a warm orange. I turn it back to the wet end and take a long, peaceful drag. Tip my head towards heaven and exhale. As the smoke swirls around my head and climbs into the morning air a foot or two before dissipating, I continue with the thought that we must measure twice before we cut once, which means that each step in the plan, the process, the steps, we should be constantly vigilant to make sure that our decisions provide the best and the desired outcome, and that we are always looking for ways to improve these results. Damn, my cigar went out again. Or like we used to call them in Puerto Rico when I helped open a couple of hotels down there, puro. My puro went out. Flink as I open the Zippo and reignite the puro, as well as my thoughts about how it takes a team to accomplish anything in business. Even if you're a one-man band type of business without employees, you have advisors, accountants, lawyers, suppliers, subcontractors, hell, even the delivery guy that brings the water for the cooler. Flip as I close the Zippo and I think about how lonely a life being a business owner can be, even when surrounded by people, constantly second-guessing themselves, looking for confidants that have half a clue as to what they go through on a daily basis, and how overworked they are at any given moment. It's a tough world out there for everybody, but if everyone only knew how tough it was for business owners. Seems like everyone, including employees, customers, suppliers, especially government agencies, are often working against them, and sometimes trying to put them out of business. How can I help them? What can I tell them? I take a big draw, pick up the Zippo, and with nervous energy it goes flink, flip, flink, flip, repeatedly until I look in my hand and realize that this lighter has been with me for over 30 years. It's been present most every day when visiting business owners, talking to business owners about what is working and what is not working in their business. That is, until those bastards ruined everything on 9/11 and I was no longer able to fly with my treasured Zippo. Yes, that Zippo and I have seen it all. The pain on a business owner's face when all looks lost, the question mark in their eyes when a business problem stumps them, and of course the glory in their whole being when Zippo and I have seen them victorious. Whoa, there's a mosquito on my arm. But not for long. I blow a big cloud of smoke at him, and I hear him cough as he flies away, and return to thinking about what to write about, and how I can help young and not so young entrepreneurs today, and how this old man can still contribute and stay viable. Perhaps I should switch to a vape. Nah, some things are best left to young people, so this old man will continue to smoke puros because, flink, there's a good idea inside every cigar. Flip, they make you pause, plan, and measure twice. Flink, if it weren't for cigars, I wouldn't get any fresh air. As I take one last hit from this Cuban beauty, I realize that my mind is wandering as I try to put myself in the mind of our business owners. I'll try again tomorrow morning and try to narrow my thoughts. Same place, same time. Flip! Damn, I'm out of fluid.
Skip and I have been in the advisory, analysis, and business coaching space collectively for over 50 years. That's not bad when you're only 35 years of age. We've made every effort to stay contemporary with business social norms, economic changes, and methodology advice. We have opened ourselves to working with small and medium-sized business owners in all areas of industry. Skip and I decided many years ago that we had enjoyed providing business guidance and assistance to the extent that we would do it pro bono if we could. We've taken the time and effort to reach out to entrepreneurs across the country through our podcast because we thought we could help. We're thankful for the feedback we received, both good and not so great also. We ask to please feel free to continue to reach out if there's a burning question you have or a challenge that you'd like some feedback on tackling. Now, this isn't goodbye, although it sounds like it. This is simply putting the podcast on a hiatus for a short time. If you have enjoyed these podcasts, please reach out. If you haven't enjoyed it, keep it to yourself. No, I'm kidding. We need to know it all. We are happy to make more if there is a demand, and always happy to answer your questions regardless.
Of those 50 years, Steve, I think you are much younger than me, so I think 48 or 49 of them are mine, right?
You taught me everything I needed to know in a year. That sounds proper.
Steve, yeah, you've been doing it right around 25 years, haven't you?
Well, let's see here. I started in 2004. Now, prior to that, keep in mind that I ran my own business for many years, and I had several businesses along the way. Some of them failed, some of them did fine. But I think that's where I got the passion, if you will, to help small business. Because I remember in the deepest part of my worst year in business, I remember being called upon by a business advisor, and I refused to talk to anybody. Why? I was 8 foot tall and bulletproof. I knew it all. At least I thought I did anyways. I had the educational background. I had experience in running a multiple store retail region. And well, needless to say, experience teaches you a lot. What was that quote you gave the other day, Skip? I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask you something about where you get your greatest experience from your failures.
Yeah. I forgot how that went. You want me to look it up now?
Anyway,
experience knowledge comes from making good decisions, but bad decisions are how knowledge is made, or something along that lines.
I told you I'd put you on the spot. In fact,
Yeah, you
look at
did.
me.
Oh, we're good. Yeah, and I've been doing this for probably 30 years, and some of it off on. I've taken jobs as vice presidents of companies, as I've been in manufacturing, I've been in retail, I've been in nonprofits even. So it's uh, it's fun to work with people in no matter what industry you're in, whether you're doing consulting or whether you're in a company, and helping them understand kind of how those gears turn in the business to produce what the company is after, which is profit.
Well, and I have to toot your horn for you. I know you wouldn't do it yourself. I don't think I've met anybody that takes the time, the patience, and really provides understanding of these concepts like you do. I mean, the clients that I've gotten feedback from is, well, he explained it in such a way that I didn't feel like an idiot. Because you have that kind of patience, because you're able to eloquently explain each of the details to make it biz easier, which is basically how we got the title, to really provide our clients with great success. I mean, we've had some great successes. We've had some people that weren't ultimately committed to wanting to change, which is very difficult. But nevertheless, they did learn something. They got some success out of it, which we're always happy about. And we can honestly say that nobody's ever quit us.
That's right. We yeah, I think in the Flink video I said I'd never learned patience, and I really haven't. I'm not a patient person at all.
I don't
But
believe it.
but when it comes to these business concepts and principles, I realize that most people are really wrapped up in being the best that they can be at in their craft, in what it is they're known for, and these things aren't necessarily in their vocabulary. So I do try to take extra patience during those times. Yeah.
Well, people get into business because they're good at something. We've met brilliant men and women across this country that do make brilliant products and provide brilliant service. But the reality of it is they didn't get into it to run a business. They got into it because they could do what they could do. And as you expand, you have to learn the simple fundamentals of business. And that's where we like to reach out and help whenever we can.
Yeah, yeah. No, I would be embarrassed to admit to you the things I didn't know in my first business. Some of them were pretty fundamental, and but years, just experience and years of making mistakes, I've learned a lot, and I think that's probably been the best teacher. I've probably made every mistake that every business owner out there has made, and then some.
Well, I guess the takeaway from that is don't be embarrassed to ask. Because if I wish I would have asked some questions or gotten some advice along the way, I probably could have saved myself a ton of money. Probably could have retired.
And I understand that it takes a certain ego to be able to run a business, own a business, build a business, and that ego, it does not easily let you take advice from other people.
Right.
So, I'm guilty of it. I don't know if you are, but I think most entrepreneurs are, and
Yeah.
it's understandable why, but it's one of those things we have to make sure we get some experts in on the areas that we have our weaknesses. Just like you wouldn't hire somebody that has the same skill set as you. You want somebody that has a skill set that complements what you do,
Sure.
right?
I would say that all the people that we've come in contact with, they admitted that they were a little either embarrassed or they were reluctant to say that they needed help. And we try to break down those barriers as much as we possibly can. But we can also honestly say that every one of our clients has come by referral in some way, shape, or another. They don't
Right.
advertise. And we have a website, resources-development.com, which is also the bizeasynetwork.com. So bizeasy.network.com, right?
Right. Mhm.
Anyway,
Well, as Steve said, please feel free to reach out. If we get enough feedback, we'll make more episodes. And as always, we appreciate a like and a subscribe, as well as passing the link on to other business owners. And don't forget, also, our blog is still available at bizeasy.network.com. So what is it that you struggle with in your business? Let me know, and we'll see how we can help.
yeah, don't be shy. Yeah, because now what you're going to get stuck with is reruns.
You said repetition, repetition, repetition. So
That's right. I learned that from a great mentor, a guy who I'd worked for many years. And one of the things he said, the best way to get some information across to somebody is repeat it. Repetition, repetition, repetition. So something I'll never forget. Anyway, my name is Steve. What do you got? Sorry.
I was going to say, as we build, we write blogs almost every week, and we put them up on the website. So I think we got probably at least another season's worth of blogs on already up. So there's lots to explore that we haven't broadcasted. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. In wrapping it up, my name is Steve, wishing you success in your business endeavors, and abundant profits in everything that you do. Until next time,
Absolutely.
take it biz easy.
And that is a wrap.
Thanks for listening to today's Busy Z podcast. If you enjoyed our broadcast, we would kindly ask you to like, subscribe, and share with other entrepreneurs. See you next time on the Biz Easy podcast, where business is simplified for greater results.